That's not a fundamental part of the game.
No,
It's
no.
brokenness.
Rust is not broken. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll start beginning with one thing. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the component system, right?
Very
And during the
important.
component system, there's a lot of new changes, which is first the removal XP. So you don't get experience for doing anything anymore, which is pretty obvious, right?
Can we
No.
swear on your stream?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can swear all you care.
You
Okay.
fucking bitch boy.
Oh,
Okay,
Kill
good, because
yourself.
fuck the XP system, am I right?
Honestly, the XP system wasn't the worst thing in the world, to be honest, compared to.
No, it was up
It
there.
was like a close second, you know.
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
closest
yeah.
thing Rust is ever going to get to Donald Trump being president.
Oh my god.
Well, but he is, Kaz. I mean, come on, man.
Okay, so
Jeez.
first things first, the most expensive component right now in Rust and the most valuable to be had is the tech trash.
Finding green light.
And the tech trash basically crafts into timed explosive charges, so C4. That is the most valuable thing in the game currently. Now, the second most valuable thing in the game is actually metal pipes, which turn into rockets and
Metal
rocket launchers.
pipes.
So let me show you real quick. Yeah, metal pipe,
You
metal
still
pipe,
need gunpowder.
metal pipe. You do still need gunpowder. So the thing about gunpowder is that it's a lot cheaper.
Can you not open doors anymore?
You don't need as much anymore?
No, you cannot open doors anymore.
I
The
guess-
XP system was what was allowing doors to be opened.
Yeah, clearly.
Not anymore.
Okay, so metal pipes are required for every single gun in the game. So anything that's a
Oh, I
gun
found a recycler.
will require a metal pipe. You can use a recycler. Actually, I haven't yet to see one.
That's why I saw the green light. I see one right now, actually.
Ah.
I have yet to see the recycler. So
I have it right now.
all right, good. So you guys will see tech trash. So hollow sets require tech trash. C4 requires tech trash. Very little things actually require it, but it's very, very valuable. I think 4 times doesn't require it. Yeah, 4 times doesn't require it. Yeah. So basically, a lot of things are going to require metal pipes. Like every single gun in the game is going to require metal pipes. I think as today or yesterday, they recently added metal springs. So metal springs are required in every single high-grade gun, besides LRs and MP5s. Funny enough. So you'll see here they're the
Man,
SMG
Kev
requires
sounds
a
like a
50 body,
scientist.
and LR requires a rifle body. So both will require a metal pipe. No, I think it's a metal pipe and a rifle body. So let's check that out real quick. Yeah, rifle body and 5 metal pipes. So metal pipes are actually not as rare as one would think.
How does this guy know all of this?
Jesus Christ.
Kev.
So basically, my first run
He's
into
just
the
reading the change log.
Oh no.
I'm not reading the change log. But basically, right now, metal pipes are not as rare as everyone thinks. You can basically get a metal pipe for every single run you make at a monument if you make a full run. If you don't make a full run at a monument, you're not going to get a metal pipe usually. Jesus Christ, you people.
I didn't get one, Kev, and I've been at the monument.
I didn't get
you
one.
got to make a full run. Basically, what I'm
didn't get
trying to
one.
say is you have to destroy every single barrel at a monument to basically get a metal pipe. That's how the odds are for metal pipes currently. Metal springs you can find in actual loot boxes.
So a 1 to
I
80
think.
ratio.
Yeah. So basically, loot boxes don't spawn any components, but I think I did find a
Oh, I
metal
see
spring
a
in one.
torch,
I'm not
yeah.
sure yet. I think I was. Yeah, it was. I think it was.
Not
Yeah.
sure.
I have found the components in the crate.
Really, crates. Have you?
Mhm.
I mostly find guns now in crates more often. I think it's on the bottom of the loot table, not very top. Because before you used to find like really weird stuff.
Kev, are you at the monument?
I'm at where we spawned.
Oh, hey, what's
Kev
up?
is the monument.
Yeah, I'm and the monument. All right, clothing
Yeah,
now requires
finish
sewing
the nice
kits
piece.
though, as you can tell. Everything requires a sewing kit, so it takes 5 sewing kits to make metal face mask. Oh, actually, no, wait, no, it doesn't. Actually, it's 2. That's weird. They changed that
Being
recently.
you-
very
you
carefully
explained
stitch
this
the
so
metal
well.
together.
Yeah, you need to stitch the metal to the fabric, clearly. So it requires 2 metal sewing kits. You can actually get 5 sewing kits in a bundle, if you're lucky enough, like I did earlier. See, everything requires kind of 2. So basically, right off the bat, you can get late game clothing and armor, which is pretty good, because before we had to wait, how long was it? Like level 28 to get metal, like face mask or some shit? Which was really,
34.
yeah, 34. Really late in the game. Which wasn't really worth it for anyone.
You explained
it's
this so well, and you have one viewer, and it's me.
Okay, and recently there's a big change actually to rating, and there's a buff to rating at the same time. So, high external walls. Actually, they changed this right now. What the hell? So before it used to be 5,000 stone in the recent change. I'm guessing now it's 1,500. I don't know why they changed it. Actually, I didn't know that. Oh well. Well,
Am I playing?
high external walls now require one less C4 because they
Fewer.
reduced the HP
So now
by
they're only
20%. So now it's 2. Yeah. So
So
now
it's
only
like a wall.
Yeah, so it's
Am I
like a
playing
wall now.
competitive? Is there a way to check if I'm playing competitive or not?
So here's the biggest reason why rating kind of got buffed and nerfed. The biggest reason it got buffed is because ladder hatches now require gears, which gears are as valuable as metal pipes, and you need 5 gears to make a ladder hatch. Meaning that you basically are going to need a ton of gears if you're going to make a cancer base. So before we used to make towers, like they're about this big, right? And you would require a box to get on the ladder hatch and go upward. So now you need 5 metal gears, which are extremely rare.
Me and this guy are dancing at the monument.
And
Just dancing,
where
having a
was
dance
it?
party.
I can't even find this.
That's
thing.
what Rust is really all about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about that.
It's all about
It's all
dance
about-
parties.
It's all about dancing.
Naked
Dance
dance
moves.
6
parties.
dance moves. So ladder
In
hatch
all
require
honesty,
5.
if they added some character animations that allowed you to dance, a bit like World of Warcraft, that would be amazing.
No,
I love the dance
I
moves,
would
man.
hate it.
They're
I would
just
actually
beautiful.
hate it. So you see, high external stone gates require 10 gears,
Oh, this is
which
great.
is
Oh,
pretty
God.
insane. They still don't require
Oh, no.
metal, which is weird.
Let's attack it with our rocks.
I wish World
I
of
think we can
Warcraft
take it
just
down.
went pay to play.
Now, here's a big thing about raiding, though. Why it's been nerfed. Because
Let's do it.
armor double doors no longer have a limit. Basically,
Oh, no,
you can
oh.
invade your base with armor double doors,
Come here,
or
bear.
armor doors, and basically it takes a
Come
shit
eat
ton of
my rock.
C4. And because currently you need really need C4 to raid,
Oh no!
and Tech Trash has kind of been nerfed. So technically, Tech Trash is now really, really rare, and you can't really get it, and it's kind of hard to get C4. But here's the upside, because all these raiding tools are kind of been more rare. You kind of get raided, but because you can't get raided so easily, your progress isn't stumped anymore. So if you're a big clan, let's say you're Oka in the server right now, it's a lot easier to get away with raids because you're basically collecting all these materials all at the same time. Basically, day 2 you'll have enough for a raiding kit because you'll have, I guess, probably 20 metal pipes. That'll be rocket launcher with 4 rockets, and pretty much it's really easy to get that now, right? Whereas before you had to farm at least 2 days to get that, and then you had to produce it, you had to collect all your sulfur, put it towards that. So there's that now. And it's hard to process my thought right now. But a lot of things really have been nerfed. So basically, base building's a lot more easily done because there's no limits to it. There's obviously armored doors now. You could build the code lock right off the bat, so day 1's going to be a lot more hectic and a lot more driven by who's going to build the base fastest, so you can go to the monument, you can collect your stuff and not lose it. But then again, raiding is more rewarded because if you raid someone, they lose everything. So basically, raiding now means that if you raid someone, they are stumped for the whole frickin' wipe. So you raid someone day 3, you take all their stuff, and day 3 now they're fucked because all they have is a base, right? That's all they have, and the base doesn't really have anything in it. So yes, you can build a base, you can fortify, but raiding rewards you so much because now you have all these metal pipes for raiding more, to getting more stuff, to hindering your enemy. Where Rust is really all about that, actually. It's really about hindering your enemy, making sure that it can't get back up, and you get ahead. So raiding is now going to be heavily rewarded, but here's the catch. Before, we could raid with satchel charges, right? Very easily because they're sheet metal doors. But the problem is now, sheet metal doors aren't really going to be used that often because now you can have armored doors, and armored doors, it takes how much satchel charges to make, which is 12, I think it was, and you're going to need 12 satchel charges. Well, 12, what do you require for 12 satchel charges? Well, I mean, satchel charges should be easy to make, right? Well, they aren't, but they require rope. So now you're going to need, let's say, 12 times 2, which is 24 rope, 24 feet of rope. And as far as my experience is, rope isn't that easy to come by. Sewing kits kind of are, metal blades kind of are, but rope is kind of in the middle between these really high tier pieces like metal gears and metal pipes and sewing kits and metal blades. So it's kind of in the middle. Rope isn't that often found. It's very valuable, actually. You do need a lot of rope. I think, actually, let me check. Do ladders even require rope? Because you're going to need, if you're going to use ladders for these ladder hatches, then you're going to basically be hindered by that too, because you need rope for ladder hatches that you're going to be building in your base. So yeah, it requires 5 rope. So now you're hindered by that. If you want to build ladder hatch base, so now we have to consider that into effect, right? So there's all these other things in this game now that are kind of restricting us from being able to raid, but helping us, I guess, for solo players not to be raided. So if you're a solo player now, I think your life's going to be a lot easier, but it's going to be a lot harder all at the same time, because remember, during the blueprint system, solo players kind of had the problem where you would go to the satellites and then you get shot, and you would never be able to get anything because there'd always be a clan waiting for you at these monuments to take all your stuff, and these clans would fortify the monument. So if you guys don't remember that from blueprint system, obviously later in the game, these clans would care less and less about the monuments and just leave you alone, right? So you can finally farm. But that was days in. Like day 1, the clan of 12 people would just be sitting at the monument waiting for these barrels to spawn while they see you walking in, and they just shoot you down instantly. Like it's pretty bad. What, you can get maybe 1 or 2 kills, sure, but there's so many of them that you're not going to be able to take them on. I guess Rust is now turning into this weird game of cat and mouse, where the thing is, you want to be the cat and you want your enemy to be the mouse, where you're chasing them and you're taking their stuff and they really can't do anything against you. All they can do is really hide and turtle. And I mean, I think that's fine to an extent, but the tables aren't turnable very easily if you don't have a good advantage or a very good start. So Rust has become this RNG game now because this like blueprint system. Who gets the best stuff in the beginning? If you get lucky with like remember before blueprint library, and in XP system, when you got lucky was when you got an AK with bullets, which would basically take in your base research. Now you can research the bullets too, so you can mass produce AKs instantly and bolties. So you were ahead like day 1, which was insane. But now you don't really have that problem anymore. Now loot crates are kind of less valuable as well, because getting a gun day 1 means nothing. It kind of means you have 1 gun. That's it, right? Because you reproduce a gun, well, great. What's going to happen? You just have a gun. You need metal pipes to make more of them. You don't have metal pipes, but you do have bullets, so you can use the 1 AK. So clans kind of are hindered. So before you could make mass-produced guns, make it for your whole clan. Your whole clan now has an AK, right? Blueprint system was the same. You basically blueprinted, and you got the off chance that you learned the AK recipe. Now you have an AK. Now it's, who cares if you have the AK recipe? You need these metal pipes and these rifle bodies, which, by the way, I have yet to find these rifle bodies. I don't actually know how they spawn. I'm pretty sure it's through airdrops and loot boxes every once in a while. And I guess it's kind of imbalanced in a way. Now there's another part of the game right now that is actually very imbalanced, and a lot of people aren't talking about it, which is the recycler, right? The recycler in the game right now is one of the strongest items, not items, I guess, machines in the game. So basically, what you can do with recyclers is you put items you really don't want inside this recycler, and it comes out with components of the machine, of whatever you put in actually. So what you would do is you basically put in, let's say, a water pipe. Okay, what about a water pipe? Well, water pipes give you metal pipes. And you get plenty of water pipes from barrels, and you get plenty of water pipes from loot boxes. Like, water pipes are actually one of the most common weapons out there, and it produces one of the most valuable materials out there, which is metal pipe. So now you're like, oh no, well, it doesn't produce everything. You still need metal spring, right? For some things. Well, you don't need a metal spring for rocket launcher. It's 60 high quality. How hard is that? That'll take less than a day to farm. But you need a metal spring for custom SMG, AK, Thompson, things like that. But I guess that there's a lot of problems with it. So I guess the best thing to say about the game right now is it's sort of in this odd place where I can guess what's going to happen, and I can tell you what the best strategies are to get ahead in the game, but it seems to be all really down to luck. And I can tell you for sure, day 1, anyone who takes over a monument will always win the game. Every time. Like, any monument, actually. I think if you take over military tunnels, you'll have a heavy advantage, because from what Kat told me, there are components that are very rare that spawn in loot boxes, and then you do want to kind of go to satellites because they produce so many, barrels. Barrels are also have a lot of components you need, and actually barrels are going to be really strong day one because they produce the components you need that day, whereas military tunnels may produce the components you want day two because you're not going to be making AKs day two because you don't want to do that because you'll lose because you can be hit rated like at any point. Someone just gets a heli down, they can get C4 and just raid you, right? And also speaking of which, helis are going to be stronger now because taking them down can be done so easily if you just make, I guess, a bolty. So you can have two clan members with bolties. They can take down a heli. And if you have 10 metal pipes day one, you basically win the game, right? It's pretty insane. So like, all right, 5 metal pipes, 2 metal springs. So it's a little hard to make, right? And it needs a rifle body. So actually, it is really hard to make. But if you can do that, if you can get all these components day one and get ahead and make like at least 2 of a gun, you can take down a heli, you can get an advantage, you can dominate a monument, you can basically just win the game, right? That's what it is. Honestly, I'll be frank with this. The component system has a lot of issues. And the component system's issues kind of reside that the system isn't just kind of flat implemented. They're kind of what they're doing is they're adding barriers to certain things in the game. And these barriers are trying to stop everyone from kind of advancing too fast. And rather than change the layout and the flow of the game, they're kind of just changing how you make things, right? So before we just wanted blueprints to make things, didn't require XP, now it's requiring components. I mean, a mix of everything will kind of slow the game down to a crawl, so the game kind of gets, I guess, boring, so people just like won't want to bother farming. Like, I don't want to do it, right? But I mean, it's part of Rust is people want that action, that moment, kind of like DayZ, where you're just hanging in a bush, just waiting for someone to pass by, and bam, shoot him in the head, and then you find this holy loot of stuff, right? It's amazing. And XP system was kind of like, you shot a guy, you hit him, he had an AK, but that really didn't mean much because it was like day 4 and everyone had an AK, so it was like, I guess I gained something, right? It was nice in certain aspects. Blueprint system was very nice because when you got that AK, you researched it and you're like, yes, now I have this blueprint, it's great, now my clan can get ahead. But there's a lot of issues, and I think the way they're going to resolve these issues is how they promised, right? They make the north side of the map basically more rare components, south side of the map kind of this noobish land where all these starter or solo players will be, and they'll kind of work their way up towards the top of the map, and they'll finally be able to get all these guns, and every day they'll take that little itty bitty bitty risk of going north, and they'll grab like an AK or something, and then they'll be ready to defend their home. And I guess that's kind of nice for solo players, right? But it's not gonna. I think Rust is beyond solo players now. You can't fit a game for people that has so much that it can cling to. So basically, what I'm saying is, the game is just really, really hard for people who are trying to play individually. But if you play something like DayZ, you know that the reason that people play solo is because, well, you just die, you lose everything, you start over. And in Rust, it isn't really that way. You just have a base. And by the way, there's people trying to rob me. Let me just die. Yo, can you guys stop that? Okay, but like I said, there's this part of this game that just isn't going to be fixed. Solo players can't be satisfied. And trust me when I say solo players aren't the majority, but they're the audience you kind of want to appeal to because the audience is going to be solo players. Because the game is going to be released and people are going to be like, oh, this game's finally finished, I'm going to play it. The majority of them are going to be solo players. Trust me. Rust is too much of a tight community right now to kind of supply this idea that, oh, it's okay to group up, but you can be solo, and it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Rust requires you to build a base to hold your stuff so you can keep that progress, so you can move on. But the game's just never going to function that way. You can't just spawn fresh off the beach, go towards a monument, get a gun, and then shoot a bunch of people, get a bunch more loot, keep it the next day. It's like, it doesn't work that way. You can do all of that up into the progress where you like you see it the next day, because the next day that clan or that person you just killed is gonna get mad, and they're gonna bring all their friends and find you and raid you and take all the stuff back and take whatever you had, and you start all over again. And guess what? They only get stronger because of it, because they basically ransacked you and they took all your stuff. It's bad. The game needs to be kind of not reworked, but rethought out, reimagined. I think Rust needs to not be afraid to be wrong. Like right now, Rust is a little bit afraid to be wrong, and I think the component system is the right step towards the right direction, which is kind of restrict people from being, like, I guess, very turtle. Because right now, there's a lot of nerfs to turtling, right? There's a lot of nerfs to walls, there's a lot of nerfs to these ladder hatches bases, which are insane, by the way, and like all these other things. And I think that's fine. I think raiding should be nerfed. And I think raiding should be also buffed. And they did it the right way. They did it the way that you can't raid someone right off the bat with all these explosives, and they made it so being able to turtle all the way because they have all these explosives, like as a player, I'm very restricted with the amount of stuff I have, right? And I basically can get, let's say, 20 C4. And I think that's enough for a good base, right? I think that's perfect for like one base. But there's so many bases out there right now that take 50 C4, 60 C4, 100 C4, and it's insane, right? And I can't play that way because I don't have a ginormous clan, and these people are turtling really hard, and it makes the base really hard to raid. We just can't deal with that. But in a lot of ways, we're gonna have to deal with that because, you know, it's just like Rust is kind of like the more materials you get, the harder it is to do something for someone, right? The more stone you get, the easier it is to build all these walls, right? Even more and more and more and more. It's great. I think it's absolutely respectable that they're doing that. But for solo players, that's horrible. For small clans, that's horrible. For big clans, it's like, great, now we have all this stuff, and no one can ever raid us, and we're impossible, and screw all the freaking people, right? Because you're a clan player. Why would you ever want to get raided, right? That's like the worst thing in the game. Oh, great, I got shot. But you don't want to get raided in the game. You really don't. And I think making it harder to raid people is the wrong way. And I think making it harder to, I guess, to get raided is also the wrong way. Make it easier on both sides. I think the game is going in the right direction. Right now, when you die, you lose all progress. You're down. You're done in the game. For clans, this is the worst update that can happen to anyone, because the moment a clan is absolutely raided, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking kill this kid. No, wait a sec. Fuck you. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go. Go away. Go. Shoot. Go away. Shoot. Wow, loser. Oh, shoot. I bled out. Should have killed that guy. But oh, I should tell these guys. By the way, someone's breaking your sleeping bags. I hit the guy 4 times.
Yeah, we heard.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
He's still there.
Oh, I see him.
He's
Two. I got
really
5.
low. He has
I
20
got like
HP.
6 rocks on me. I'll
Are you
throw 'em.
serious, dude?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I hit him.
Should be dead.
Stay on the point. Everyone get on the point now. Everyone get on the point and keep it.
I have like a.
Okay. So, I think that ends my discussion. I honestly think the game's going in the right direction. I think getting raided is which should actually hinder you completely. I think that should happen in the game. I'm stuttering a shit ton right now because I didn't write a whole lot of notes down. I kind of was thinking of this in the shower. I'm probably going to remake this and at some point condense it down and write notes about it. But my current thoughts of the game, quickly, I think the game's going in the right direction. I think components should be as rare as they are. I honestly think that turtling in the game should be nerfed. I think that's the right direction to go in, and I think that raiding tools should be a little bit more buffed. I think they should add different ways of raiding. I don't think rocketing. I think it should not remove rockets, but make it a lot harder to use rockets. Like just not remove them from the game, but make them harder to make. I think C4 is fine how it is. I just think rockets are kind of very toxic in the way that they'll just demolish a base and kind of, I guess, take players to easily find your loot room. I think C4 is the right way to go because it's slower. It shows your positioning. Basically, they have to find the loot room beforehand, so they have to hear out. You have to strategize more, and I think that's what the game should be. And I think rockets should really be nerfed really hard to the point where people just aren't gonna like decide against them if they know certain things about the base. So I think that's what should happen, and I think raiding tools should be different now. But I mean, right now the way the game is, it's fine with the raiding tools we have, and I think it should be changed so we can have different raiding tools. So the certain things can't be done with certain things. Like if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like I think stone external gates should be broken with barricades and things like that, like battering rams. And I think there should be a weapon that allows you to break down certain doors. But what the game is right now is just going to be armored doors constantly. C4ing is going to be like hella hard. I think satchel charge rating is going to be really hard. I honestly think turtling is just the easiest thing in the world now if you get the right base design. And it honestly, the base designs that are going to be made, these wipes and and this whole meta is just going to be not really honeycombing, but rather mazing, which is going to be just huge, humongous bases that are like 1 or 2 stories high that just have so many doors. That's all it's going to be. And I honestly think that's the way it's going to work perfectly for anyone. Because when you think about it, rockets are really expensive. And even if they do rocket your base with so many doors, it's just going to be like, oh, there's nothing here. Yeah, let's blow through the other door. Same amount of explosives it takes. But like armored doors are just so much cheaper right now. They're like 2 metal, like high quality. What the fuck? Whatever. And metal frags currently are not as used as much because a lot of the weapons don't require metal frags. So metal frags are not as valuable, so they're a lot more inexpensive. There's just a lot about the game right now that's just it's not balanced, I guess, but neither is it unfair. Honestly, I think solo players are going to have the greatest time of their lives this wipe, to the degree not that they're going to be like, oh yeah, we can play the game the same way everyone does. No, I think you're going to play it differently. I think solo players are just going to turtle up a lot easier. Their lives aren't going to be hell. They're going to be not going to be rated 24/7. They're going to be rated like every once in a while, because honestly, I think if you're planning on raiding, you should raid high value targets now. Because if you're not raiding high value targets, it's not even worth your time. Because putting on a solo player, what the fuck ever. And you're not going to get anything. What, 2 metal pipes? Who the fuck cares? You need gears. You need metal springs. You need metal pipes. Solo players aren't going to have that many. They're probably going to lose them in a fight. Like, raiding solo players is going to be so worthless. I think if clans do it, they're making the wrong error. And the current patch of Rust is just really favoring solo players. And I don't really disagree or agree with it. I kind of like am. This shouldn't be a thing. Really. Honestly, they should reward solo players for doing things differently. I think the XP was going the right way. It just didn't do the job correctly because there were so many abusive bugs about it. Like, friends give you XP, and I think that should have been taken away. Let's see. What else should I talk about, I guess? I guess have fun with Rust. That's all I can say right now. Alright. I think that cuts the video. There, I'm done with it.
Nice, Kevin. Sorry for talking over you.
Yeah, I fucking muted you guys.